This thing I'll get out. I put these strings on this thing. I'm going to be tuning while we're playing because it gets out of tune every time you play it on the new ones. I didn't realize how bad that I had to put new strings on one but once. And I sold it then, so I didn't really know how bad that was. I hadn't been playing that one. But we are proud that y'all here this morning. We got a good many out, but we got a bunch of new faces that I've never seen before. We're proud to have everybody here. In the way of announcements, flag practice today at 5. Be here at 5 to try on chaps. You don't have to wear your white shirt or your hat, but unless you never wore a hat when you ride, you might want to wear a hat. But be here at 5 to try on your chaps so you can ride with those on, just so that you're used to it. And be prepared to practice one day next week, middle of the week sometime, maybe Friday night. But one of these routines we hadn't went through, so we either need to get it right or not do it at all. So, and the not do it at all is not an option. So we got to get it. So be here at 5 for practice and one day next week. Is there anything else? Friday night, yeah. Friday night, We'll be meeting here to carry stuff over there for Wednesday. Friday morning? Yeah, maybe. Friday morning. Anyway, y'all get ready. Somebody will call you. We're going to be moving stuff over to the arena. We'll need as much help as we can get. We may even get the cows here on, did y'all say Saturday or Friday? Or we might need help loading cows too. We may have to go and catch cows, really catch cows to have this thing. Some of them might not want to load up a little bit. So we might need a good bit of help. Is there anything else? All right, let's pray. Father God, we praise you for the day you give us, Lord. We thank you for this group of people that has come out, Lord, to hear your word, Lord. I pray that everything we do and say glorifies you, that we keep you the center and the focus of all that we do. Lord, we thank you for this group of people that's here, Lord. I pray a special blessing on each one. I pray for the ones that are out traveling on vacation, Lord. I be with them, watch over them. Guide us, direct us, and we'll give you praise and glory in all things. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. We haven't had a chance to practice this week, so we're winging a lot of songs. Some of them they've never heard before. So this is them know we're Christians. So if y'all know them, sing along. But some of them we just don't know them. But we're going to go after it anyway. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the Lord. And we pray that all unity may one day be restored. And then we are Christians by love, by love. Yes, and Lord, we are Christians by love. We will walk with each other. We will walk in unity. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. And together we'll spread the news that God is in our land. And then we are Christians by love, by love. Yes, and Lord, we are Christians by love. We will work with each other. We will work side by side. We will work with each other. We will work side by side. And we'll guard each one's dignity and save each other's pride. And we'll know we are Christians by love, by love. Yes, they'll know we are Christians by love. All praise to the Father, from whom all things come, and all praise to Christ Jesus, His only Son, and all praise to the Spirit who makes us one. And they'll know we are Christians by love, by love. Yes, they'll know we are Christians by love. Yes, they'll know we are Christians by love. We'll do one y'all might know. This is just a little talk. Just a little talk. We had an order we was going to do these in, but we threw that out too. Tell you what, before your tails go to sleep, y'all stand up and let some blood flow and your feet go to sleep. Sing along if you know it. I once was lost in sin, but Jesus took me in. And then the light come down and filled my soul. He made my heart in love and took my name in love. And just the love with Jesus made me whole. some folks now. Y'all, see somebody you don't know, go shake their hand, tell them it's good to be here. Don't lie to them though, just you know. Don't go around and meet some folks. I think most everybody knows this one. I want y'all to sing along with us. We got one more we're gonna try. And Janet came up here. Whose birthday did you say it was? Tyler's birthday. We had never seen happy birthday for anybody, I don't know. It's Chase's birthday too? So, are we whooping after church? We're not going to whoop right now, but we will whoop. Tell you what, we're not going to sing happy birthday. It's their birthday, but y'all see me right after church, we'll run them down. I'll let y'all run them down. I'm not going to run them, but I will whoop them if y'all get you. Two, yeah. They got to keep me straight too. We're going to try this song. This is one of those we have practiced. And all of the ones we have practiced on. There's no price I would not pay, no, just to be with you. I give everything, I would give my life away. Yeah. I'm missing that man's from the ocean, just to be with the dreams of an empty emotion. It can never be done. I never swim the deepest ocean, but I walk upon the raging sea. Just to be with you, I do anything. There's no price I would not. Understand the fullness of my love and how I died upon the cross for your sins. I know that you don't realize how much I gave you. I promise I'd do it all again, just to be with you. I've done everything. There's no price I did not pay. Just to be with you, I gave
Good morning. Good to see everybody out this morning. I got to make a little room up here this morning. You'll see why in a minute. This morning, if you got the Bible with you, if you want to take and put your finger in Habakkuk, that's in the Old Testament, one of the minor prophets. It's easier to just flip to Matthew and then go backwards a few pages till you get there. Kind of put your finger there and then flip over to Hebrews chapter 11. We're going to start out in Hebrews chapter 11 and then we'll flip back over to Habakkuk. Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1 says, "Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. For by the people of old received their commendation. By faith we understand that the universe was created by the Word of God, so that what is seen was not made out of things that are visible." Let's pray. Father, I thank you this morning for each person that's here. And Father, as we go now into this time of study of your Word, Father, I ask that you will open your Word up to us. And Father, I ask that you would remove my words far from me. Father, and replace them with yours and yours alone. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Got a question for you to think about and answer this morning. If you were going to go ice fishing, and you went out and you had to have faith to go ice fishing, and you could go out on 4 foot of ice and go ice fishing, or you could go out and on 2 inches of ice to go ice fishing, which takes the most faith? The 2 inches. You know, we always think that it is going to be that 2 inches of ice, but so often faith is misplaced. If I want to go out and go ice fishing on 2 inches of ice, well, at the end of the day, that's stupid. Because it don't matter how much faith I got in the ice, it's not going to hold me up. I'm going to go down. It's going to happen. So the 4 foot, that's I'm good. That's going to hold me. Doesn't matter how deep the water is, 4 foot of ice is going to hold me. 2 inches isn't ever going to hold me. I want to do a little demonstration for you this morning. I got a couple of volunteers if I can find them. I can't see that far this morning. Y'all see, come on. Y'all know who you are. No, it's behind you. Yeah, you don't want to be him in this. Trust me. Yeah. No, you don't want him. No, you don't want him in this. You can work in this, but you don't want him in this. I'm not even sure we want him in this, but anyway, we're going to do a little bit of a demonstration that tests faith. We'll start out with something that I don't think takes a whole lot of faith, and we're going to try something. I think it's going to take a little bit of faith, and we'll see if they got them. Let me line you step over here, behind him. Hey, just turn right. Okay, here we go. All right, I want you, not going to get too close. I want you to fall back. Do you think he's going to get you? You think you can get you? You think? All right. All right. No problem. You know he's going to catch you. Turn around. All right, now, did anybody have any doubt that Tanner was going to be able to catch you? Did anybody have any doubt? Anybody got any doubt right now? One of them's shaking, and this one is catching. Tanner did take a little bit of a back step. Take that. Faith is one of those things that it talks about here in Hebrews. It says that faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Now, when Chase went back, Chase had no problem to just close his eyes and fall back. He had no doubt Tanner's got me. You know, I'm going to say Tanner outweighs him 50 pounds in that neighborhood, and he knew that was there. Now, for Tanner, It's a little different falling back on Chase. Because Chase is like me, he ain't no big old boy. So it takes a little bit more faith to fall back. But now, what y'all don't know, and I have to share, they knew how that was going to work out because we hadn't fallen on each other last night. So I wasn't going to have somebody fall out up here and bust their head and us end up calling an ambulance. But so when Tanner fell back, he knew Chase was going to get him. You didn't know that. You could just see Chase just flat down here like a pancake. Our faith is oftentimes misplaced. We say that we have faith in God and we say that we have faith in Him to take and to take care of us, but that's not how we live. We live our life in a way that our God is Chase, not Tanner. To where we're thinking, you know, I think He can get me. And we turn loose just a little, and that's where we stop. We don't fall back on Him and say, you know, you're going to catch me. You're going to be there when I need you. We don't do that. We take and we put our faith, and the first thing that we tend to put our faith in is ourselves. And that's great in this place because every one of us knows ourselves pretty well, and we know that we're flawed. Every one of you in here today probably knows some of your bigger flaws. But we tend to take and we put our faith in ourselves and what we can do and the things that we can accomplish. And when a problem comes up, the first thing we try to do is take care of the problem ourselves, on our own. And then that faith that we put in ourselves, we take and we place it in stuff that we're able to acquire ourselves. We take and we put our faith in money. We can buy our way out. We can earn our way out. We take and we put our faith in the government. Well, that's a huge mistake. But it's amazing the number of people that wait on the government to bail them out of something. And at the end of the day, they generally do. But we put our faith in that. We take and when you're driving down the road, you have no idea how much faith you're really putting in the car and the person next to you when you drive down the road. If you're running 55 miles an hour down a 2-lane road and you meet another car coming 55 miles an hour, you're going to pass within 2 or 3 feet. That's a lot of faith. You don't think about it like that, but that's an awful lot of faith that you're putting in that person. For those of you who are in here that are horse riders, we had a great example of this last night. These barrel racers especially, I can tell you, and I've told several of them, nothing scares me more than watching my kids barrel race or watching anybody else barrel race. Because whenever they come in and they go in the gate, they're going at that first barrel and they're completely at the mercy of the horse, the dirt, the tractor driver, all of that stuff. And you just got to trust that it's going to hold up. The last night we found out real quick, it doesn't always hold up. Things go flying apart. And that happens. But you have to go out there and you throw everything you've got into that because you've got to count on it being there if you're not trying to really good. But we can find ourselves able to drive a car. We can find ourselves able to get on a horse and go as fast as it'll go toward a barrel. Or if you're back in a box 10 opening, you're going as fast as you can toward a cow and you're trusting that the horse is going to stay in its lane and the cow's going to stay in its lane and nothing's ever going to get crossed up. And we can do that. But we can't seem to find the faith to give to the Creator of the universe everything that is about us. To take and to guide us and direct us and allow us to be able to bask in what He can give us instead of what we can do for ourselves. Because we look and we think, you know, He gave me enough sense to take care of this myself. At the end of the day, He gave you enough sense to take care of a lot of things, but there's nothing He doesn't want you to give Him. And we take in our faith gets weakened by things that happen to us. Because we expect everything just to work out. And quite often, we don't even pull God out of our little God box until things go bad. And when things start going bad, we want to pull Him out. Quite often, we don't start out on our knees, we end up on our knees. Or maybe nobody else here has that problem, maybe it's just me. If I'd have started out on my knees whenever I set out to do a lot of the things that I've tried to do, if I'd have started on my knees instead of ending on my knees, I'd have probably been able to walk a whole lot better through the process. But I know how I am. And I get caught up on trying to do what I can do. My faith is so misguided. And I stand up here and it's funny to me, the perception that has changed about me in the last 4 years, just by the basis of what I do up here on Sunday morning. And I promise you, I am no different than I was 4 years ago. For those that hang out with me away from here, you realize I am as messed up as I ever was. It don't change. I am still, I hope, exactly who I was. And my faith gets messed up. I start relying on my job to take care of my issues. One of the times that seems to be the biggest things is whenever your money starts getting low, you start counting on work, you start counting on this, and it's amazing that the first person we start taking our money away from is God. I'm not saying that just because it's fourth Sunday, those that visit and understand that later, but I've been guilty of that. I say that because that's affected me. Because whenever I start writing checks on who I've got to write checks to, his check comes last, not first, sometimes. And that happens. When I start divvying up my time on things that I want to do, and I start looking at it, Bible study ends up being at the bottom of the list, not the top of the list. Instead of starting out my day in God's Word and spending a few minutes with Him to get my day started, it's the end of the day. And I've worked all day, and I've come home, and we've either messed with the horses or done this or whatever, ball games, all the stuff that goes on, and all of a sudden you look at your watch and it's 5 minutes to 10, and your Bible's still sitting where it was 2 days ago when you set it down. And you think, boy, I need to do some studying, I need to read. So you pick it up and you flip over to some random passage and you read it. And you may read a whole chapter and you close it up and you go to bed and you got no idea what you just read. You just read it because that's what I'm supposed to do. That didn't increase your faith in Him at all. Not a bit. You see, Tanner knew Chase was going to catch it because he had tested it. We tried it a couple times to make sure that it was going to work. God doesn't tell you to believe in Him blindly. He doesn't expect you to absolutely believe in Him blindly. He's already done enough stuff for you to just use your brain and start looking at what He's done for you, and that builds your faith. Doesn't matter how much faith you've got in 2 inches of ice, it will not hold you. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how little you believe in 4 feet of ice, it will hold you. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the convictions of things not seen. Verse 3 says, by faith we understand that the universe was created by the Word of God, so that what is seen was not made out of things that are visible. We put our faith in things that we can see and we can feel and we can touch. We all know that we've got 5 senses. You realize like 4 of those are all based on something you can't see? If you eat a banana and you sit there and you chew on a banana, it tastes like a banana, right? Most of the time, I do know this did happen, but most of the time, if you're eating a banana, it tastes like a banana. You can't see that taste. You can look at it and say, well, it tastes like a banana because it's a banana. Well, I've had banana jelly beans, they taste like bananas, but they don't look like bananas. They're jelly beans. But you know it's going to be. You have no doubt. When somebody speaks to you, you can't see sound waves. You can see their mouth move. It goes back to if a tree fell in the woods and nobody was there, it would make a sound. It really doesn't matter unless I hear it, I guess. But you can hear when somebody's speaking to you. You can't see what's coming at you. Now, feeling, we actually can lay our hands on something visible, and we can touch it, and we can feel it, and we tend to trust those things. Seeing is the most amazing gift that God gave us, is to be able to see. The complication of the human eye is unbelievable, and what it takes for an eye to work, and for you to be able to see and process those images. He created all of that. And it couldn't happen by happenstance. He created it. Now, if the one who can knit you together in your mother's womb can make the eye see, can make a banana taste like a banana, if he can do all that, why can't we trust him with our lives? Why can't we have enough faith, as Jesus talks about in Matthew chapter 17, and then again later on about the faith of a mustard seed? Just the faith of a mustard seed to be able to move a mountain. I want you to flip over to Habakkuk chapter 3 and verse 17. Now, during the time that Habakkuk is a prophet in Israel, they are under siege, captive, bad things are going on. Lots of stuff is happening, and if you read through, and I always encourage you to read more than just a little bit I read. I don't have enough time to read the whole thing. But if you get full context, you've got to read the whole thing. But he's going through a lot of bad stuff, and they don't know what's ever going to happen, but I want you to see how he ends this. It says, though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, the produce of the olive fail, and the fields yield no food. The flock be cut off from the fold, and there be no herd in the stalls. Yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. God the Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's. He makes me tread on my high places. When we go through life, things don't always work out like we planned. We were at the ranch over last time, and I was talking to Ben, and we were trying to formulate a plan, and Ben said, well, you know, I found that the best thing is just not plan. It never works out. I'll always figure to fail the plan is the plan to fail. But they do quite often fall apart. It doesn't matter whether it's a plan in business and you plan for it to work out a certain way, or it's a plan at a ranch rodeo. They do tend to fall apart. But it's amazing how when things start falling apart, our faith starts falling apart at a much faster rate than what's falling apart. Habakkuk says here, says, though the fig tree should not blossom, nor fruit be on the vines, that the crops fail, the sheep are gone, though everything falls apart, I will rejoice in the Lord. I will take joy in the God of my salvation. If you're here this morning and you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, I don't care how much faith you have in your works, in your mother's faith, your grandparents' faith, or whoever. The faith in the number of times you've gone to church, the faith in the amount of money you've given to the church, that faith is on 2 inches of ice. If I could say able to say this, because his faith is on the God of his salvation. We don't have to have faith in something that hasn't shown itself to be real. Something that hasn't shown itself to already be faithful to us. God's not asking you to blindly jump off a cliff. He's already given you the greatest gift that you could ever have. And that's the gift of his Son, Jesus Christ. And the world can try to say that he doesn't exist. History can try to write off what he was, but there are some things that You simply can't deny more about Jesus Christ than any other figure in human history. There are manuscripts of the Gospels that are older than any books that we have. We can lay hands on letters that were written within 70 years of the death of Christ. There's no doubt that he lived. The Romans record that he died. The thing that separates your faith in Jesus Christ and somebody's faith in Buddha can be summed up in one simple explanation, in my opinion. They can tell you where Buddha is buried. They can't tell you where Jesus is buried, because he ain't. I know he ain't good English. But they can't tell you where he is buried, because he ain't. They can take you and show you an empty tomb and say that, this is what the tomb looked like. We can't tell you exactly what the tomb looked like, because he didn't stay there long enough for us to be able to really, to decorate it, mark it up, and make sure everybody knows where it's at. Word tells us it was a borrowed tomb. It was a borrowed tomb because he didn't need to own one. He wasn't planning to use it long. If your faith is in Jesus Christ, you're walking on 4 feet of ice. It's solid. He's going to hold you. But I do want you to understand, does that mean life's going to be perfect? No. And that's where we get messed up. We get to thinking that just because we come to know Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, just because he is in our lives, that everything's going to be perfect. It's not going to be that way. It's the imperfect things that when he brings us out the other side, that builds our faith into knowing, hey, there's more ice under me than I realized. The first time that Tanner fell back on Chase, he wasn't real comfortable with that, but he did it anyway. Second time, he kind of let himself go, because he knew he's got it. He knows he's going to catch you. You got to fall back on God and know that he's going to catch you. If you're constantly falling back on him and putting this foot there and taking a step back and trying to walk backwards into him till he grabs you, he's just going to keep backing up saying, come on, just let go. I got this. I got this. But so often we're like, no, I got it. I can go backwards. And then finally, when we can't do nothing else, that's when we finally say, okay, how much better would life be if the garden don't make it, if the horse comes up lame, if the trunk won't crank? Rejoice in the Lord, because he's got a plan for it. When the check ain't what you think it's going to be, when it don't rain when you need it and it rains when you don't want it, he still sits on the throne and he's still got this. You just got to let go and let him out. And if you're here today and you don't know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, I promise you there is no better day to just let go and fall back, because he's got you. Not only has he got you to catch you here, he's got you and he's got you called for eternity. Not for a few days, not for a week, but forever. The price has been paid. And all you got to do is let go. There ain't nothing you got to do. Just give it to him. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for each and every person that's come out this morning. And Father, strengthen our faith. Father, so often mine is so weak that it's scary. Father, help us to have the faith that we need to just let go and let you do what you need to do in our lives. And Father, if there's one here today who is still holding on to their life, and they have never accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, Father, may today be the day that they just let go, that they just fall back, and you will catch them. Father, thank you for all that you have and all that you do. Jesus' name I pray.